I mean, the fact is that there have been these cases stretching right back to the the wartime years. I mean, the first public inquiry, the first one about a child who was killed when in foster care was in 1945. And
Listen,
the rate of these deaths having occurred has remained significant, but still very small, but constant. It is a feature of life. And we
no,
say that something
Nicholas,
must be, we
stop.
keep having inquiries, one after the other, saying things must be done. We have enormous sentences for the people who perpetrate these crimes, but nothing, it carries on as
Nicholas, there are lots of things that have, have a history. I know how much you love going back in time to see, is this a new crime? No, of course it's not. But what has happened is that we as a society recognise more the full horror of what it means to a child being brought up in a violent environment,
yes,
and the
that's
consequences for their life and the trauma it means and the developmental handicaps they face as a result of it. And so therefore, having a good social services system is vitally important, but that has to be resourced. And if you start running away with this idea that there should be no taxation and that you drive down public expenditure, then inevitably you're going to end up with very poor systems to do child protection. And as Charlie's just said, the only way, if at the end of the day you can't find foster parents and this is the only real alternative is to return this child to a father who's saying I'm an altered man, then you would need to have it supported by very intensive social work involvement, and that would not be possible when you're driving
but
down.
I would make this point, Helena, like this. In the field of child protection, there is this work done by professionals, they're social workers, child psychologists, medical experts, lawyers, and judges, right? It is absolutely thankless. It is never in the papers, the thousands and thousands of cases where placements are successful. They're never reported for obvious reasons.
I know.
It is
And the other thing
absolutely
about it
thankless.
is,
And these professionals, if I just 1 second, these professionals, they know that if they make a decision which transpires to be wrong, it can have disastrous consequences. So it is this is the toughest field in which to work, isn't it?
and let me tell you, and then, of course, social workers can be absolutely accused of being responsible for failure. And the devastating effect on individual social workers, heads of social, is enormous.